The honourable member for Wajir South.
Thank you very much, Mr.
This is the
Speaker.
last batch, Waziri.
Actually, it's baffling to hear the pampered parts of the country complaining about marginalization. What are we to say, those of us from northeastern Kenya,
Ask your question.
which is a monument for marginalization? Mr. Speaker, my question is, there is a difference between bad roads and no roads. What we have in northeastern Kenya are no roads. We cannot even describe them as roads. As we speak, 3.5 weeks is what it's, for the last 3.5 weeks, no vehicle has entered my constituency. And we keep hearing from the government promises that they will deliver the Horn of Africa Gateway project, which many people in Northeastern today believe is a hoax. The road is 50 kilometers away from Wajir. When are we going to see contractors on the ground building that road, which the people of Northeastern Kenya have been waiting for the past 60 years? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
On the Wajir constituency, I want to assure the honourable member that most of the Horn of Africa projects, the contractors have now been identified, they are going on site, and that, Mr. Speaker, the remaining that one we re-advertised and one that is about to be advertised will change the northeastern part of the country. You know, El Nino at the moment is affecting northeastern, coast, and upper eastern, and the lower eastern. All those places, the initial assessment is that we need about 15 billion first to restore the road. That is why the 1 billion we got from contingency fund, we are just using it to make sure that we connect counties. And that's why the place in Abaswein there, Kotulo to Mandera, I was in Garissa the other day. Today, if you see the news today or you get the information on social media, the road in Lamu, connecting Lamu to Mombasa, has been destroyed because of the rains. And so we will continue assessing it. Eventually, we will now sit down and say, what is there from emergency fund? What can we come back to this house to try to allocate for purpose of restoration of our roads? I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. On the issue of marginalization, I want to understand the criteria used to allocate these resources, because the Cabinet Secretary is aware of the challenges, and that's why the other day when he came to Garissa, for example, the roads were inaccessible. That's why you had to fly in. Maybe next year when you come, that issue should not be there. You can drive down, and that has to come from the efforts and the goodwill from your side. But I want to understand why a particular county is able to get 1.8, and when I looked at the allocation for Garissa, it's at 100 million.
1.8 what?
So my concern is, if the need is there, why can't allocations be made as per the needs? Because this creates issues of insecurity. IEDs are planted not in tarmac roads, but roads that are maram and not tarmac. So maybe let's look at this issue holistically to even secure our borders. Thank you so much.
The road from Lamu to Ijara, Mr. Speaker, was badly delivered. And Mr. Speaker, when the president was elected, that's the first project we called the contractor and told the contractor, he not only needs to go back to do the work, but that road must be tarmacked. And I believe that once we support that contractor, we'll tarmac. The road from Garissa to Isiolo, Mr. Speaker, is also ongoing at the moment. The road, Mr. Speaker, of Modogashe, the road from Isiolo, Kulamawe, and Kulamawe, Modogashe, the contractor is on site, Mr. Speaker, and has reached almost 10% of the project. There is a good number of projects in the northern part of our country that, if delivered, Mr. Speaker, will help us deal with insecurity and deal with marginalization, because the contract sum is not less than 60 billion, Mr. Speaker. And I invite my honourable member, as we continue implementing this project, it includes building of hospitals, it includes fiber optic, it includes building of some of the schools. I came to this house for vetting a year ago. I promised, Mr. Speaker, that I will do everything possible to ensure that the marginalized counties are brought to be part and parcel of our country, particularly the northern part of the country where Al-Shabaab characters are trying to play around, Mr. Speaker. Tarmacking the roads will make sure that there are no IEDs that are going to be hidden below the road, Mr. Speaker, and therefore affect our people. I am confident that in 5 years, Northeastern will not be the same Northeastern we've known.
Swala langu liko kwa waziri ni kwamba Mheshimiwa Rais alikuja Kisauni akafungua barabara rasmi, akaanzisha barabara rasmi ya kutoka Kiembeni, Mwakirunge, Bondora. Lakini baada ya kuondoka matingatinga yote alimfuata. Hakuna kitu kinaendelea. Sasa leo tueleze una mipango gani na kuna kuendelea nini? Asante.
Thank you.
Mr. Speaker, the last is Kisauni. It is not true. Even though the contractor is limping, Mr. Speaker, and is a son of that region, Mr. Speaker, or an elder from that region, Mr. Speaker, the contractor is on site. He is always calling carer, coming to my office for purpose of support. So he is there, but he's limping, like many other contractors. And we are going to do everything possible to see how we support them to remain on site.